As a digital nomad, it's easy to make a lot of mistakes when living abroad and not being prepared for the challenges ahead. I've certainly made plenty of mistakes. So in this video, I want to tackle the 5 biggest mistakes that I think a lot of guys, when they're living abroad, being a digital nomad, make and causes them to pack up and head home and not really make it a sustainable lifestyle for them. Hey everyone, my name is Thomas. I run the channel Boundless Disciple. I do videos on Christian men living abroad, dating abroad, and improving their life outcomes. So if you're interested in that, just hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my uploads. Okay, let's get into the 5 points here. So number 1, why a lot of guys fail living abroad is not doing their research and selecting the wrong city/location. Location and city make a big difference living abroad. You can't just choose a random location and hope it works out. Even within the same country, the cities and the neighborhoods can be very, very different. Now, I'm not expecting you guys to get it perfect off the bat. I certainly didn't when I first started living abroad. But the key is to do your research, figure out what kind of cultures you like, what kind of fits your lifestyle best, what fits your work time zone best. Then research the cities there and really figure out, do I like hot or cold weather? Okay, do I want a warm or colder social climate? Do I want more or less societal trust/safety? Okay, and this is going to be dependent on you. There's no right or wrong answers here. It's just going to be dependent upon what your preferences are and what kind of lifestyle you want to live. Do you want to live in a metropolis city like Seoul, South Korea, or do you want a more tranquil existence in a rural area of Latin America? It's kind of up to you, and you're not going to get it right off the bat, but do enough research on your neighborhood and city. And if something isn't working out after a month or two, be willing to pack up and head up to the next place. You'll find that even a quick change of scenery or city can be exactly what you need. This doesn't mean I think you should pack up and head to a different city every week or two, because you won't be able to build any community or longevity there, but be willing to try some places, do your research, and find something that aligns with you. Don't expect the very first place you pick to be absolutely perfect. All right, the second biggest mistake is not having a budget or daily work routine. Just because you're in a lower cost of living country doesn't mean you still don't need a budget. Okay, you definitely need a budget. Okay, things still cost money: food, transportation, especially unexpected expenses that can come up. For example, like a hospital trip, or maybe you got to pay a big bill back at home, or you still have some overhead from back at home. Make sure you budget out your existence, or you can start burning through money pretty quickly. A lot of guys, they start paying in a different currency, and they think they're essentially made of money, and that's certainly not the case. Okay, even I'm in Seoul, South Korea. It's probably a third to half the cost of where I live in the US. I still budget. I still live within my means generally, and allows me to save money. And yeah, it's a much more comfortable existence, but like I said, doesn't mean I'm made of cash. Doesn't mean I can do whatever I want and spend whatever I want. Okay, especially luxury goods in a lot of these countries will cost the same or more than back in the West, and you can burn through your money very, very quickly. Another thing that will keep you burning through your money quickly is if you don't establish a daily routine and work schedule. A lot of guys go to a different country and they think they're on permanent vacation now and they can do whatever they want whenever they want. Okay, I have strict work hours here, and that's why co-working spaces exist in a lot of countries between digital nomads. Is there needs to be a place where people can hold each other accountable for 8 or 9 hours a day. You're doing your work, you're getting it done so you can get your paycheck. Don't go on permanent vacation mode and let your weekends extend into Thursday, Friday, and Monday. Starting Monday, I get up, I have a routine, I have a working space that I go to, or if it's my apartment, I have a desk set up and I get my work done. Yeah, there's more freedom, and I don't have someone breathing down my back, and I can take more breaks if I want to, or spend more time working if I want to, for sure. But if you don't have any routine set at all, you will fall apart. It will eventually get to you, and it will eventually be a big problem. So figure out how to hold yourself accountable, or find other guys that you can work with to hold you accountable. And between the budgeting and getting your work hours down, it's going to make sure that you don't financially fail here abroad. And then number 3 is chasing and wasting time on the wrong women. I've seen a lot of guys make is investing a lot of time and money in women that are playing them or are just not worth their time at all, or they spend all their free time here abroad chasing women. I think that's a very, very bad approach. Okay, you need to live a normal life in your abroad country. Yes, cost of living is lower. The dating environment's probably easier. There's probably a lot of fun things and activities to do here here. But if you just spend your whole time, chasing women and thinking about women and being on dating apps, okay, that's not a very fulfilling experience. That's not a way to build a long-term life. And there are some risks when living abroad in terms of, are women interested in you because of you or your finances? And that comes down to your system for determining who is a good and viable match for you. So get your crap together. Okay, look somewhat attractive and dress well here, so that you know that if women are interested in you, they probably like you and think you're attractive and had a good personality instead of just treating you like a walking wallet. So don't let that kind of attention and don't let that kind of mental energy burn you out, and don't, make it so easy for you to part with your money. I think it's one of the biggest ways to really destroy your experience here abroad. And that one can really cut into point number 2, which is about your work time. So you're spending all your time going to bars, partying, trying to pick up chicks, and you're not spending your time working, getting your sleep, and being dialed in. You're going to be buying a one-way ticket back to your Western country before you know it. So play the long game. Okay, really try to find good, intentional matches with women. It will come with time as you build community in the city and you really invest your time wisely. Okay, don't think it's going to happen immediately day one. And that's how you're going to be able to find, a good match here abroad. But spending all your time looking for, girls at bars and nightclubs, not a good approach. Waste of time, waste of money, potentially dangerous, and just not a good way to go about this thing. And then number 4 is going to be living in isolation. Now, a lot of guys come to a foreign country, they don't know the language, they don't know anybody, and they just spend most of their time cooped up in their apartment when they're not scanning through dating apps. And this is a totally wrong way to approach living in a country, and one I kind of made the mistake of doing my first time, and I'm definitely learning my lessons here. But I think, especially if you're a Christian guy, which is what my channel is targeted towards, early on, you want to find and get dialed into a church. Maybe pick 2 or 3 before you come that you want to scout out and really look at those over 2 or 3 weekends. And then after that, pick your favorite and start going consistently. Start going consistently on the Sundays. And if they have weekday events, go to everything. Go to everything consistently. Why? Because people there will see you there, they'll know you're serious, and they'll want to talk to you. They'll want to invite you into the church community if it's a good one. And now you sort of have an instant network. Not that that is the purpose of going to church, but it is a nice byproduct of being a part of a church community, is now you have people to look out for you. You have people who can connect you with potential dating options or friends, and just go to everything, meet people, talk to people, do your best to speak the language and get to know them genuinely. Be a genuine person, and you'll start to develop a nice social group and hopefully a group of people that you can trust. I think that's a much better situation for building a social group than going to a random bar or going to a random, expat party hangout. Okay, I think those people are much less trustworthy than going to a reliable church community where the people are likely to be a little more upstanding than your nighttime and nightclub community. So go to church, find one that aligns with you. Be consistent, attending as much as you can. And I've started doing that here, and I've started building more networks, more friends. You start to feel less lonely as people invite you to stuff, invite you to do things. And you start to feel like, hey, I kind of have a friend group here. Then soon enough, more and more people recommend to you, potential dating options are recommended to you, or they can give you advice about living here and about, certain people in your city or things to avoid. It's just great to have that social network. Going it alone is just way, way too difficult, especially in a new culture and new environment. It's hard if you move from one city to another in the United States. Now, doing a whole nother country, you will get lonely, you will get depressed, it will eat at you being that isolated if you don't work to establish that community. So get on that immediately, make that a priority, even if you don't think it's important in the beginning, because after a month by yourself, you will start to go a little stir crazy if you don't have people to share the experience with. And the 5th and final mistake is pretending everything will be perfect because you're in your new country. No place is perfect. The US isn't perfect. The West isn't perfect. Latin America isn't perfect. Asia isn't perfect. Okay. It's just about determining which imperfections you're willing to live with. And for a lot of guys, they're deciding that imperfections abroad are better than ones in the West. That may not be the case for you, but expecting that your new country is going to be perfect in every way is just the wrong mindset to go into. There will be flaws, there will be difficulties, there will be challenges, but it's about overcoming those things. And like I said, just determining which ones you are willing to live with. So if you're going in with the rose colored glasses mindset, you're going to be sorely disappointed after 1 or 2 weeks in your country. You're going to start to see the issues. You're going to start to see the problems. Okay, it's inevitable for that to happen. That's why, I recommend guys, take a week or one or 2 week trip to different areas to see what you like. But after that, you need to spend extended time before figuring out if that's your base abroad, okay? 2 weeks is not enough, or 1 week is not enough for you to commit to 6 months somewhere, okay? You just don't know. And you've had a very small snapshot where you saw all the positive things of a country while seeing none of the negatives, okay? The negatives only come with time and understanding a place and really getting to know the people there. So don't expect it to be perfect. Don't expect that it's all going to be sunshines and rainbows for you. There's going to be challenges just like there were back at home. It's just about figuring out which set of challenges you want to live with. So those are the top 5 mistakes and my personal advice for living abroad. If you found those helpful, leave a comment down below. Which additional ones did I miss and you would recommend to guys going and living abroad? I would like to hear your guys' thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this video. And anyways, I'll see you guys next time.